Knights and dragons unite.
The noble knights of Stormberg were the bravest in the land. They trained to fight the dragons with their swords and shields in hand. Sir Gorel was uncomfortable with swords and angry steeds. He found it all too scary and preferred to do good deeds.
The mighty Drakton dragons were the fiercest in the world. They trained to fight the knights with giant flames that blazed and swirled. Young Aristar disliked the flames, which scorched as they shot by. She found it all too scary and preferred the cooling sky. One morning, while the knights were all in training for the fight, Sir Garel slipped away towards the woods and out of sight. And as the dragons roared and shot their flames into the air, it got too much for Aristar, who crept out of the lair.
Cinderella skipped along till something stopped him in his tracks. Hello? Is someone there? He called, unable to relax. Cinderella saw a dragon with a blue and scaly snout. Don't hurt me, said two of them together with a shout. Oh, I would never hurt you, they responded, both confused. The presence of a friendly foe had left them quite bemused.
Don't worry, said Sir Garel. I'm just keeping out of the way, as fighting makes me nervous and they're practicing today. Me too, responded Aristar. I found the flames too hot. I hate the fact that dragons have to breathe them such a lot. If only we weren't enemies, we wouldn't need to fight, and maybe if we worked together, things would be all right.
Then suddenly, Sir Garel turned to Aristar and said, Forget this silly training. Let's put on a show instead. They put their heads together and devised a cunning scheme. They joined the knights and dragons into one united team. They laughed and worked all afternoon, with brow and hopeful grins. This plan to bring a peaceful truce, where everybody wins.
They headed for the castle, where the knights all gazed in shock. How did you catch a dragon? Asked the biggest knight, Sir Jock. I didn't, said Sir Gorilla. She's not scary, she's my friend. We've come up with a plan to bring our squabbles to an end. Then Aristar took flight, and as she did, their plan was clear. The banner flew behind them, and Sir Gorel gave a cheer. The message in the sky said, Knights and dragons, all unite! Join forces for a friendship-building talent show tonight.
They headed next to Dragon Lair to show off their new plan. The dragons shouted, Aristar, how did you catch this man? I didn't, she responded. He's not scary, he's my friend. We've come up with a plan to bring our squabbles to an end. Then Aristar flew back towards the village from the wood and headed for the castle where the great arena stood. They worked until the sun went down and left the dusty glow, preparing all the things they needed for putting on a show.
The knights back at the castle huddled tightly in a swirl. A show seemed odd to many, but it did appeal to some. I do quite like to juggle, said Sir Fee with a smirk. And I've been known to dance a wicked rumba, said Sir Crick.
The dragons back at Drakton were all huddled in a scrum. The show did seem odd to many, but it did appeal to some. I am quite good at singing, Loxley mentioned, feeling shy. And Cloudy said, I might give writing poetry a try. Sir Gorel sat with a star upon the empty stage. The audience consists of a donkey and a page. At least we tried, said Arthur. I guess they just don't care. But then, as she was talking, raucous laughter filled the air. They looked up to the sky and saw the most amazing sight. A host of flying dragons, each one carrying a knight. Sir Fia called, I guess that we can give this thing a go. It's worth a try, called Maddox. Now, let's get on with the show. The audience were captured by the Appala squares, and Maddox and Sir Trundlefield did somersaults on wires. A group of street performers brought the house down with a roar and knitted they like they'd never done before.
Their lives were much more wholesome with new talents and new friends. They realized that life becomes more fun when fighting ends.
The end.